What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this. Beautiful, delicious, smoky, tender, curry-y, amazing, scratch-made chicken tikka masala. Of course, with some homemade naan. Coming up. This is some chicken. Ooh, pat it dry. And what I got here is some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. But for this recipe, you could probably use whatever you like. You know, breast meat would be just fine, but we all know thigh is better. Look at all that fat on there. Just gonna be more flavorful. And I've been debating whether or not I should leave these whole or cut them up now. Ooh, piece of bone. But because I'm gonna be grilling these off eventually, I think it's gonna be a lot easier to keep these whole and then chunk them up after the grill. So as far as prep for right now goes, I'm not gonna do anything, because the first thing we need to do is bust out a spice mix. So to start things off, we're gonna go into this hot, dry pan with some coriander seeds, some clove, some cumin seeds, 1 cinnamon stick, some cardamom, couple of bay leaves. We'll save the rest for after this stuff is toasted and ground up. Again, dry heat, we wanna get these nice and hot to really unlock the flavors, but we really don't want it to burn or start smoking too much. And once everything is smelling fantastic, into the spice grinder we go, trying not to spill everywhere. Ooh, smells good. Next up, we're gonna go in with some freshly grated nutmeg, some paprika, mostly for color, and some turmeric. And I was gonna add some Kashmiri chili powder, but I didn't have any, so I ordered some the other day and it got delayed, and I think it's coming here in a couple hours, so we'll have to add that. Add another step. And just like that, our little curry powder is good to go. Next up, we're gonna peel a whole bunch of ginger. And into the food processor we go. And we're also going in with a whole bunch of garlic. Oh, next up, into our pan here, we're gonna go in with some oil, as well as a couple spoonfuls of our paste we just made. And just let that cook down for a minute or two. And while that cooks down, we're gonna add some of that curry powder we just made. Beautiful. And I'll go in with a big fat pinch of salt while I'm here. This is just gonna help unlock a lot of really good flavors from the spices and the garlic and ginger, and cook it down a little bit, take that harsh edge off of it. This is smelling so good already. But now I'm gonna set this aside and let it cool down for about 10 minutes. For our marinade, I'm going in with some full fat, plain Greek yogurt. Beep. Oh, another spoonful of our ginger and garlic paste, you know, kind of get 2 different flavors out of the same ingredient. Oh yeah. And then our mixture we just made. And because I'm feeling frisky, we'll go in with a little more of that curry powder and another big fat pinch of salt. And just get that all nice and mixed up. And now in we go with all of our chicken thighs, trying to make sure everyone is nicely coated on all sides. And just like all marinades, how long you do this is really up to you. If you only have a few hours, go for it, but the longer it sits, the more flavorful it'll get. So I'm gonna go overnight. This video is brought to you by Ridge Wallet. I've been carrying a Ridge wallet just like this one for the last 2.5 years, and I absolutely love it. And not once have I even considered trying something else. And when I first started seeing these minimalist wallets coming out, I was pretty skeptical because they're so small, I was worried they'd fall out of my pockets and I'd lose it. But eventually one day I picked up this Ridge wallet, and like I said, I have no plans of switching to anything else. Nice and thin, and holds up to 12 cards. And the reason I got this wallet is because I rarely carry cash anymore. But that's not to say that this can't. It's obviously got this cash clip right on the back. You can also get this one where you can just fold it up and tuck it under there. And they also sell this little tray for carrying coins, you know, pop this in there, throw a couple quarters in there, then you're good to go. But the newest addition to my pockets is their little key case. And it kind of works like a pocket knife, you know, you just slide this out, got your keys, and no more of that annoying key jingle. But probably my favorite feature of both of these products is because of these clips that are on both of these things. But I just use it as a pocket clip. I don't like to have a lot of things in my pocket. So what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll put it right in my waistline. Next to that goes my little pocket knife, then my keys, right next to that. So now my pockets are completely empty, except for my phone, which is just great. And with one pat, I know if I've got everything I need on me. And I really put this system to the test. I mean, last year alone, I hit 10 different states, 6 different countries, and this was on me every step of the way. And to use it, it's super simple. You just push right there, boop, grab the corner of the card, pop it back in, good to go. Also, both of these come in a variety of different colors and patterns, but I must say, I do like the stonewashed titanium look. It comes with a lifetime warranty and a 365-day trial period, so if you don't love it, you can just send it right back. So if you're interested in picking up any of these products, click my link in the description box of this video, taking you to ridge.com/chudsbbq. Where using my link, you can save up to 30% on your order. Thank you, Ridge. Next up, let's go ahead and make some garlic butter for our eventual naan. Starting by melting some butter. Ooh, yeah. And as it melts down, I'm gonna start going in with a whole bunch of garlic. Just trying to get this warm and melted, cook that garlic a little bit, but I'm not trying to brown it or anything like that. And as for our non-dough, we're gonna start out by going in with some warm water, 1 packet of yeast, a pinch of sugar, some whole milk yogurt, boop, a spoonful of that garlic butter we just made, some bread flour, and a pinch of salt. And just start working this until it all comes together into a dough ball. And once a dough ball is made, you're gonna just start kneading it for a couple of minutes till everything comes together. It's a pretty dry dough, so don't be scared if it seems really dry at first. After a little bit of kneading, it should all come together. And once everything has come together, back into the bowl we go. I'm gonna top that with a little more of this garlic butter, just to make sure nothing sticks or dries out too much. And we're gonna cover this in plastic wrap and let it rise for about an hour or two. After an overnight marination, this chicken is looking a little bit different, firmed up a lot, which is kind of cool. Smells really good. And we gotta get it cooked off. So let's fire up the pit. One of these days, I'm gonna make a curry out of that pesky little snake in my boot. So on the grill we go. Gonna leave all that yogurt on there, and we're just gonna kind of see what happens here. I wanna get some good grill flavor on there, but I don't wanna scorch it too hard, which is why I got a 2-zone fire set up. And I think this will add some really good flavor to this curry. Just let it go for a minute. Hopefully it doesn't stick too bad. A little bit of sticking. Probably could have waited a little bit longer, but never grilled chicken covered in yogurt before, so playing it by ear. Getting some good color. The yogurt's definitely sticking a little bit, so I got a spatula out for kind of scraping, which helps a lot. Also, I noticed that yogurt marinade really did tenderize these thighs because they're falling apart. Very tender. That's a big boy. And just like that, fresh off the grill, got some good color on there, a little bit of char, which is kind of what I'm after. Help add a little bit of that barbecue flavor to this chicken tikka masala. And I'm not too concerned about the internal temp on these. Kind of hard to get an internal temp on these anyway, but from what I can tell, it's right around 145, 155. But we're gonna finish cooking these in the sauce. So that's when I'll really be concerned about the internal temp on these. But for now, I'm just gonna set these aside while we go ahead and get our sauce made up. Get things started, we're gonna go into this pan with some oil, there's some avocado oil, and our red onion. We're gonna cook that pretty hot and fast for a couple of minutes. And once these are nice and translucent and starting to take on a little bit of color, I'm gonna go in with a big old spoonful of our garlic and ginger mixture, maybe a little more, I like that stuff, as well as some Thai chili, just for a little kick, and let that start cooking down a little bit. Then we'll go in with some of our spice mix from earlier. Also, my Kashmiri chili finally came in, so we'll go in with a nice healthy spoonful of that, and let those spices toast away. Man, it really is a shame that I'm doing this outside, because I would not mind my whole house smelling like this right now. It smells so good. And then we're gonna go in with a can of some crushed tomatoes. Probably gonna rinse this can out with some water and add that too. So at this point, I'm gonna let this cook down and reduce for the next probably 20, 25 minutes. That's really gonna concentrate all the flavors, reduce some of that water out, and let us get a really nice little toast on these tomatoes, and just make everything super flavorful. Back to our non-dough. Boop. This is looking good, puffed up a little bit, nice and soft, a little more pliable, a little more flexible. So now what I need to do is cut this into some equal balls. So I'm gonna start by cutting it in half, and then in half again. And you can make these however big or small you like. I think for some of them I'll make a big one, and then some of these I'll make little tiny guys. But just like any other dough, we're gonna take it, make a little ball out of it, fold all the seams to the underside, and give it a good old table roll. Just like that. And now we're gonna let these rest for about 10, 15. And just like that, you can tell this is really cooked down quite a bit, but nothing's burning. You really gotta keep it moving so nothing burns, but it's reduced down. The tomatoes have been toasted nicely to really enhance that flavor. And it's at this point, I'll usually go into some water to make the consistency right, but I happen to have just made a batch of some smoky chicken stock, so that's going in. Not traditional, but I don't think it's gonna hurt. And there we are, back up to a simmer. You can really reduce this down to whatever consistency you like. And this is looking pretty good for me. If you wanted a super fine sauce, you could hit it with a stick blender or pass it through a strainer or something, but I don't think I'm gonna do that today. So next up, we're gonna throw in a little pinch of sugar just to kind of curb that tomato acidity a little bit, and add some heavy cream, as much or as little as you like. Again, I don't want this to be too orange, so I'm not gonna add too much cream, but it's just gonna give that really nice velvety mouthfeel. And now it's finally time to give this a little taste and adjust some seasonings. Oh, that is so good. Definitely needs a big fat pinch of salt. I'm gonna add a little extra too, because there's really not much salt in that chicken marinade. And we'll add a little more of our powder too. Really just bump up the flavors. And now that it's tasting the way I like it, all we gotta do now is chunk up this chicken. And in we go. Make these as big or as small as you like, but little bite-sized pieces is what I'm aiming for. And just get that folded in, pop it back on the heat for about 10 minutes or so, just to warm that chicken through, finish cooking it, even though it's most of the way there already. And all there's left to do is fire off our naan. All right, for this naan, we just need to roll it out really thin. And I did try to do this on the chud press where I just put a ball in like a tortilla. It just didn't work out nearly as well because you really got to get this stuff super thin. And I'm clearly not trying to make these round. I kind of like the oblong shape. Beautiful. You could throw it on just like this, or you could take some cilantro or parsley and kind of roll it into the dough. I like the way that looks. And now onto a screaming hot chud press we go. All right, let's get this thing peeled up. Yeah, my cilantro is not sticking very well, but that's fine. Just let it blast away for a little bit. And after just a couple seconds, it's starting to get some nice bubbles on there. So now, flip it over, toast the other side, and we're good to go. That looks so good. Almost got full puff going. Beautiful. Off this comes. I'm gonna keep it wrapped in a dry towel over here, just to keep it nice and warm. So quick, so easy. Probably not the best idea to start this cilantro side down. One thing to keep in mind here is that you're really not getting much cooking when you flip it over because it's just stopped by these big bubbles. So you want to go pretty hard on the underside, but that looks just great to me. All right, finally time to plate up. Start out with a nice mound of some basmati rice. Just cook this in the rice cooker, nothing fancy. And then go on with a nice big ladle of this beautiful Tikka Masala chicken. Get some of that extra gravy on there. I'm gonna say it one last time. It smells so good. Oh, beautiful. Of course, we gotta top that with a couple cilantro leaves for good measure. Boop. Can't forget the naan. We also can't forget to take some of this garlic butter we made earlier and just give that a nice painting. Get some of the chunks on there. Oh, yes, please. Oh my God, this is gonna be so good. Beautiful stuff. And there it is in all its glory, folks. A nice little grilled barbecue rendition of a classic chicken tikka masala with some lovely homemade naan bread. And yeah, I'm ready to dive on in. I mean, where do you even start? Do I go with the naan? Do I go with the chicken? Definitely not starting with the rice, I'll tell you that much. But let's get a bite of this, shall we? Oh my God, that is so good. So much flavor. But the balance of flavor on this is just so good. It's got that perfect amount of kick to it from the chilies and that chili powder. It's got all those warming spices like the clove and the cinnamon, but in perfect balance. And that sauce is just so good. This is definitely worth making, folks. Oh my God. That chicken is so tender. Nice little kiss of smoke from the grill too, but I've been dying for this one all day. Ooh. That is a winner. Go in there. That's the bite. I don't know why I haven't made this sooner. That is so good. With that garlic naan, it really just makes it so much better. I'm gonna eat a lot of this. Get a little rice in there. Ow. Sop up all that extra sauce with that rice all day long. All right, Brooke, this is my first time ever attempting to make a curry.
Okay.
Let me know, and the folks at home know what you think.
Okay. Oh. It's so good. There is a smokiness to it, though.
Not too much, though.
No.
How's that spice level for you?
Oh, perfect.
Ooh, big bite. It's crazy how there's like so much flavor and so many spices in there, but it all just kind of comes together for that perfect bite.
Yeah, not overwhelming at all. The spice level is perfect. It's got a little kick.
I threw a couple extra bird's eye chilies in there for you. This on a cold day, though, all day long. Naan is fun to make, too.
Oh my gosh.
Just gonna keep going.
Yep.
Why is it so good?
Yeah, where's your plate? I'm gonna eat all this.
Luckily, I made plenty of it.
Okay, good.
Now, also, if you don't marinate the chicken overnight, which I did, it comes together pretty quick.
What's the chicken marinated in?
That's a yogurt marinade.
Okay.
A lot of yogurt in this dish.
Okay.
The bread is made with yogurt.
Really? I didn't know that.
The real question is, what kind of curry should I make next?
Green.
Like a Thai curry? Maybe butter chicken?
Yeah.
You know when Brooke's not saying much that it's really good.
Yeah.
Usually you're one bite and out, but not
I
today.
mean, all your food's really good, but I love this kind of cuisine specifically too, so that helps a lot.
The only concern I do have is that I wish it looked a little bit less like chunky dog food out there. This is a national dish of the UK.
We had something very similar to this at Dishoom when we went to London.
That's why I'm making this, because I also had it at the Shoom in Birmingham. I think it's time for the official taste test.
Okay.
Grab you a nice piece of, I almost called it pita. They would have yelled at me. Naan, nice little chunk of chicken in there, little taco style. Ooh. Ooh. Shout out Drew Wilkins, Swine and Bovine Barbecue here on YouTube. Ran into him the other day. He gave me this James E. Pepper. Very good bottle. Everyone go subscribe to Drew. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make an absolutely incredible barbecue chicken tikka masala. I highly recommend giving this one a try. I was just eating some in there and I told Brooke that I'm pretty sure this might be best bite of the year so far. Such good complex flavors that really pair well with that grilled meat. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!